Do you ever feel like you lack the willpower to stay focused or resist distractions? We all experience that feeling of wanting to make a change but not being able to summon the willpower. But here's the thing, willpower isn't some magical quality that some people are born with and others aren't. Science proves that willpower isn't just about motivation, it's a muscle that can be strengthened. Today we're diving into the actual neuroscience behind willpower. We're going to unpack how it works in the brain and, more importantly, how to use specific actionable tools to build unstoppable willpower and take control of your life. Let's start by understanding where willpower comes from. It all starts in the brain, specifically an area called the prefrontal cortex, or PFC for short. Think of the PFC as the command center of your brain. It sits right behind your forehead and it's responsible for decision-making, planning, self-control, and focusing your attention. And guess what? This is also where willpower lives. Just like a muscle gets tired after a workout, your PFC gets fatigued when you overuse willpower. But here's the good news. Just like you can train your muscles to become stronger, you can train your PFC to have more willpower. And the key, according to the latest neuroscience, isn't about gritting your teeth and pushing harder. It's about using smart strategies to rewire your brain for more discipline. We're going to dive into specific techniques that have been shown to enhance prefrontal cortex function, giving you more control over your impulses and actions. Let's talk about one of the biggest factors that can sabotage your willpower: dopamine. Dopamine is often called the feel-good chemical, and for good reason. It's released in the brain when we experience something pleasurable, like eating delicious food or achieving a goal. The problem is, we live in a world that's engineered to hijack our dopamine system. Our phones, our apps, even our food environment, they're all designed to deliver quick hits of dopamine. These constant surges of dopamine actually work against our willpower. When you constantly bombard your brain with dopamine from easy rewards, it makes the harder things in life feel even harder. One powerful strategy is what Dr. Huberman calls dopamine delaying. Instead of giving in to every urge, train your brain to wait, to delay that reward. When you delay gratification, you strengthen the neural circuits in your prefrontal cortex, enhancing your willpower. Now we're going to talk about a technique that might seem extreme, but can have profound effects on your willpower: cold exposure. Yes, I'm talking about cold showers, ice baths, or even just splashing cold water on your face in the morning. Cold exposure is a hormetic stressor. Hormesis is the idea that what doesn't kill us makes us stronger, and that applies to the brain as well. When you expose your body to brief periods of controlled stress, like cold water, it triggers beneficial physiological changes. One of those changes is a surge in dopamine. The dopamine released from cold exposure is sustained and long-lasting, unlike the quick hits we get from things like social media. Cold exposure also activates the sympathetic nervous system, which is your body's fight or flight response. By exposing ourselves to controlled stresses like cold, we're teaching our sympathetic nervous system to handle stress more effectively. This translates directly to increased willpower. When you can withstand the discomfort of cold water, it becomes easier to resist temptations and stay focused. We've all been there. You're trying to stick to your goals, but then that urge hits you like a wave. Whether it's the craving for junk food, the urge to skip your workout, or the desire to procrastinate, these urges can feel incredibly powerful. But here's the good news. These urges are actually temporary. Dr. Huberman often talks about the 90-second rule, and it's a game changer. The 90-second rule states that the most intense part of any craving or urge typically lasts for about 90 seconds. After that, the intensity naturally starts to decline. The key is to simply ride out that initial wave. Don't try to fight it, just observe it. Notice the sensations in your body, notice the thoughts in your mind, but don't get swept away by them. One of the best ways to do this is to focus on your breath. Take slow, deep breaths, counting the length of your inhales and exhales. Next time you feel that urge, remember the 90-second rule and ride out that initial wave of intensity. We've covered a lot of ground today, from the neuroscience of willpower to practical strategies for strengthening it. Now, let's talk about one of the most effective ways to make lasting changes: building daily non-negotiables. Daily non-negotiables are small, positive habits that you commit to doing every single day, no matter what. These aren't grand gestures. They're small wins that, over time, add up to big results. The key here is consistency. It's about showing up for yourself, even when you don't feel like it. Start small. Choose 1 or 2 habits that you want to implement and make them non-negotiable. Track your progress. Use a journal, a calendar, or an app to keep yourself accountable. Seeing those check marks can be incredibly motivating. Building daily non-negotiables is about creating a lifestyle that supports your goals and strengthens your willpower. Willpower isn't something you're born with. It's something you train. Delay gratification, embrace discomfort, use the 90-second rule, and create daily habits. Which of these will you try first? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe for more neuroscience-backed strategies to level up your life.